Hi, I'm Jill Clifton. Welcome to Landscape of Mothers. I would like to talk a little bit about teenagers and communication with teenagers. I have been thinking a lot lately about how our relationship with teenagers is different than our relationship with these same people, these children, when they were younger, right? When they were younger, our job was to guide, to inform. We were much more of like teacher type folks to them. And when they become teenagers, they don't really want us to teach them anymore. And so communication as a teacher versus as a fellow human is a different kind of communication. And there are two parts of communicating with teenagers that I think are like critically important and very different from how we approach them when they're children. So one is that our communication significantly turns towards both listening, and which for me means going after understanding them, and also asking questions instead of telling. So the listening part, when the kids are very young, we tend to be listening to just kind of a lot of babble of them processing and whatever. And in some respects, this isn't that different. But the more that we can ask questions that are going after trying to understand what they're feeling, where they're going, what they're thinking about, what the inner like mind conflict is for them, or what brings them joy, and then reflecting that back can be really great, so that they are starting to feel more met in their own agency. So the more we listen, the more they feel both worthy of speaking, they feel their ideas feel important, they get the message that what they have to say is important. And it doesn't mean that we have to agree with everything they say. That becomes part of the difficulty in listening actually to teenagers is they're beginning to figure things out a little bit. Some often things about relationships or friendships, about how the world works, about current events, and they're trying to make sense of it. And they're operating from the more like binary space that we originally gave them, which is that something is appropriate or inappropriate, it was right or wrong, it was good or bad. And sorry, my mom's cat is sitting here making noise. And so in listening, what we're trying to do with teenagers is allow them room to think their own thoughts out to some kind of conclusion, right? Sometimes they need some reflection time to do that. So they might say something about a current event, and you might just ask them a question like, oh, how do you think that would feel if that was you? Or what do you think is like the most important part of that thing that's happening right now? Or something like that, something that kind of gets them to continue thinking it out, so that they're starting to build the skill of following something through, not just assessing something for its inherent quality, which the older we all get, the more nuanced the world becomes, and the more there's a little bit of both and, that we can have kind of both and feelings about things. Like my feeling right now as both my kids are getting ready for college is like that I'm really excited about them going to college, but I'm also really sad that they're leaving my house, that they're embracing their own lives and kind of going away, they're grabbing their own lives. So I have this mixed feeling, right? So as adults, we can carry both and. I can be sad and really proud and joyful, and excited for them. And I can also have a feeling of longing and missing and maybe some regret. So there's this whole range of things that we can hold around a single perspective as adults, and they're just learning how to do that as teenagers. And if we can listen for the understanding and we can reflect back what we hear, they get to start that process of learning how there's multiple pieces to each thing. So that happens in life. So the listening is really important. The questions are crucial so that they're getting to stay in their own process instead of getting your process of thinking supplanted into them. So anyway, I hope that's helpful as to think about as you're starting to talk to your teenagers. If you have any questions, please post below. And certainly if you're enjoying these videos, subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that so much. Thanks.